What's going on, guys? I want to talk about this one topic called the resistance to letting go. It's actually in the Hawkins Letting Go book. Make sure you guys pick it up. It'll be, what I'll try to do is I'll put it in the description box below so you guys can pick up this book. And you should definitely check out his other work. Okay, it's called Transcending the Levels of Consciousness. Same author, okay? And Letting Go. So there's more. He has like 12 books or something like that, quite a few. And these are really going to help you understand why relationships and the way that they are, your perception of them, how you view them, how you view the other person, how you view yourself, right? These books are going to help open your mind to these things so you can raise your levels of consciousness, so you can raise your vibration. Now, I know to a lot of people who are not spiritual or not religious or maybe even anti-God or anti-spirituality. Some people out there are like that, and that's completely okay. That is your choice. That is your free will to choose that. This will still help you in the idea that you'll be able to observe your behavior. You'll be able to observe her behavior, or vice versa, right? Because this channel is geared towards men, so I'm going to use man to woman a lot, okay? But for ladies watching, just reverse it. If you're attached, it doesn't matter what gender you are. You're attached, which is going to lead to suffering every time, okay? So this little sub-chapter is called The Resistance to Letting Go. The resistance to letting go of negative feelings is the undoing of the ego, which will be resistant at every turn. This is one of the pre-ideas. I don't even know what I was going to say. Pre-thoughts, pre-ideas. Ego death, right? A lot of people that do like DMT and drugs like that will experience ego death. And they see that the ego is there to protect you. But beyond that, you cannot grow if you're too protected. Us, we don't want to go places that we don't understand. Places we don't find comfortable. But sometimes the most growth comes from the one place you are not comfortable in. Actually, 99% of the time, growth comes from when you're uncomfortable. Think of the gym. Does it really feel that good to put all this weight, do all these exercises? Right? Eventually, actually, it does. Because your thoughts change, your body changes, so you're actually like the way it makes you feel, right? I remember the first time I did shrugs, right? Like the very first time I ever did shrugs, it was a muscle I never worked out. And then I got addicted, right, to doing shrugging exercises because I could literally see, my traps growing, right? I think when you start working out and then you have the belief in your head and then the emotion behind it, and then the physical, I'm actually growing, I'm getting bigger, right? When that happens, that's when your beliefs start kicking in. So when you start letting go and you start feeling day by day that you're separating from the attachments to them, right? You're starting to believe you're going to be okay without them. So the ego does not want you to go places that it doesn't, you're not comfortable here. And again, I know I'm not a scientist. I'm a regular dude observing. The lingo I use is probably not going to sound too professional, but it is absolutely true. And I see this with my students all the time. They have a hard time letting go because they simply don't want to. They don't want to. They're afraid of the unknown. They got comfortable in their relationship, so they don't understand that letting go is going to benefit them. This results in skepticism about the technique forgetting to surrender a sudden upsurge of escapism or venting feelings by expressing and acting out. You guys wouldn't believe, because I do coaching on a permanent basis right now with a small fee, right? Now, I used to do it without that fee, and sometimes I will, sometimes I won't, depending on the person. But they will vent these frustrations out all the time. All the time. And they'll just say, I feel better now. I just needed to vent. I just needed to talk about it. I let them do it. I don't really say anything most of the time, right? When they do that, because I know what they're doing. Because they just need, it's almost like when they do that, the resistance to letting go is breaking down. It's really cool. And then they go, hey, I feel really good right now. The solution is simply to keep on letting go of the feelings you have about the whole process. Let the resistance be there, but don't resist the resistance. This is so common in breakups. What people do is they'll go, I don't want to think about her anymore. I want to move on. I'm so tired of thinking about her. I want to move on. I can't stop myself from thinking about her. I want to move on, right? They keep saying the same thing over and over. So they end up resisting the actual resistance itself, and they go crazy, right? They're like, oh my God, I just can't stand, and they get frustrated. Okay? Instead of just accepting that it's going to take some time and it's going to take some energy and focus on the freedom, the letting go process, knowing that it's going to be all right. When you know that and you believe it in your heart, like I said about the gym, when your thoughts and your emotions and your physical being, when that starts to resonate together, when it starts to combine, you're going to start going from this to this. And you're going to be able to actually let go of all of the resistance to letting go. It sounds so weird, right? But you wouldn't believe how many people do this. People do this every day in my coaching, all the time. And they'll say, hey, Kyle, how can I move on faster? Right? That's resistance to resistance, because they're not letting the process actually play out. That's how you learn and you grow, right? Human beings, we go through many heartbreaks, not just from a relationship, but losing parents, losing grandparents, sisters, brothers, family, right? And then of course we go through our breakups, losing a few, hopefully. Some people lose several. You know, I've gone through about 4 or 5 deep breakups. Okay. And I've learned something so profound in every single piece of pain, every single deep hurt that I had. I learned something about myself, what I want, and who I want in my life. I learned those things. So I'm now able to get over relationships very fast. And it's because I know that if I go, okay, I'm going to give myself 6 months to feel this. It's going to hurt. Actually, you can say, I'm going to give myself 3 months to feel this. People actually don't say that to themselves. And then they say, after that, I'm done. I'm done thinking about it, right? You don't even have to do that long, guys. Okay. But what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to feel the hurt, feel the pain, embrace it, right? And then after that point, you're actually almost preparing yourself to go, I'm going to be all right without that after this point. So it's almost like you trick yourself. And that works for me. Some people are going to, again, be attached to the idea that breakups take forever to get over. And then in that case, they will. But I can get over a relationship within, a few months. And it's because deep down inside, I know that if somebody does not want to be with me anymore, I can't force them to be. So why sit here and sulk over it for years? So I know that and I believe it, so I get over it quickly. Right? So all the painful thoughts hit my head. Who are they with? Who are they doing things with? What are they doing with that person? Right? Obviously, we think of sexual things. But then I remember, to some people, I'm going to be attractive, and some people I'm not. To some people, they're going to want to be with me, vibe with me, and some people are not. And I've accepted that as well. Some people are going to really dig what I'm saying here, and some people aren't. I've accepted that as well. I used to care what I made content on. Now I don't. I care about making content on this. So I think it's really important for you to see your belief systems and then think about, okay, how is this serving me? Because my belief system is I don't need a relationship. So therefore, when someone leaves me, I go, okay, I'm going to give myself time to grieve it, 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever. And then when you really believe that, I think that's when the true magic happens, because you're like, okay. And then here's the funny thing. Right away, my thoughts go into the relationship and how it wasn't perfect, even from her end, right? Did they want to work on themselves? I start analyzing everything without the actual emotion behind it. I look at it logically, because I think I've decided in that moment, and it's a decision, it's a choice for you to hang on or to let go. So when you let go, you're like, okay, I'm going to look at this analytically and go, was this working for me as long as I thought it was? Is this person really who I thought they were? Can I really trust this person? There's a lot of questions that will go through your mind, and it's good to ask those questions, isn't it? You are free. You don't have to let go. Nobody's forcing you. Look at the fear behind the resistance. What are you afraid of regarding this process? Are you willing to let go of that? Keep letting go of every fear as it arises, and the resistance will resolve. Most people who are going through breakup issues are fearful that they're going to not find a partner that they had that connection with. Fear of the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen. Fear of that partner finding somebody else. And I think the list goes on, right? Letting go of those fears is the quickest way. Again, accepting who they're going to be with, accepting that it's okay, I'm alone and I'm going to find somebody else. Some people are going to like me, some people don't. Some girls are going to be like, oh, he's really good looking. And some people are going to be like, nah, bro, he ugly, right? That's what some people do. And that's okay. I'm not trying to force them to think that I'm better looking than I am, or that I'm not as good looking as some people think. You know what I mean? Some people are going to like me and some people won't, and that's all right. The fear is the first thing you need to let go of. Letting go of that fear is powerful shit, because that's what's really keeping you in the same place. Fear of not being able to find another partner is massive. I see that in my coaching every fucking day. People are so afraid that they won't find another partner when the odds alone are in their favor that they will. Even though they have the evidence that they were just with someone else, with a person for X amount of years. That's the ego, right? Let's not forget that we are letting go of all the programs that made us a slave and a victim for a long time. These programs have blinded us to the truth of our real identity. The ego is losing ground, and it will try tricks and bluffs. I cannot survive without you. I cannot survive without this person. I need you. I need your love. I need your touch. These are the things that people think after a breakup is over. They'll feel that way. And it's not true. You don't need anybody. You don't need anything. You only need yourself. Right? And media will convince you and show you people together, happy, holding hands, smiling. And that will sub-communicate, man, I need to find a partner to be happy. See, there are powers that be that will try to tell you, try to convince you of a certain narrative, right? You have to be careful what you consume, what kind of content you consume, what kind of material you consume. Because it's going to try to tell a narrative. Because someone owns that company. Just like me, I'm trying to convince you to let go. I'm trying to convince you to be a better version of yourself, right? I have my own biases. I have my own beliefs. I have my own way of saying this to try to convince you to be better for yourself. That is my intention. Their intention is usually profit-driven. So they'll put some catchy headlines, catchy titles, catchy pictures of whoever to convince you. Just put that out there. It's almost like, it's not even like they're trying to convince. That's a secondary thing. They'll say headlines like X and X just got married. I almost said just broke up. Just got married. And they show this, in the American dream, have a house, a white picket fence, dogs, cats. And then you don't need those things to be happy. Truthfully, I feel the most happy when I'm creating content, when I'm creating. That is how I know, or heavily believe, that we're all part of a God or a universe, that creation, helping others, that is the core love. Because when I help other people make money, for example, I started a little subgroup of that through Masculine Energy. Obviously, helping people with relationships was the first thing I did, but helping people with money was it was different, because the impact it made in my life and the way I feel was massive. It lifted so much weight off of my shoulders. No, I was not doing shrugs, right? I I felt so much pressure as a man to perform, to provide, to be the best that I can be, right? And taking the money aspect, being able to pay for everything no matter what, was huge. So that's why I like helping people make money, because I understand that really we don't need that much. One website can change your fucking entire life. It can change your entire financial situation. $5,000. I say this to some of my students who are kind of interested. I'm like, okay, most people make between what, $1,500 and $5,000 a month. Some people make more, some people make less. I said, what if you had a site that was making $5,000 a month, $4,000 a month, $3,000 a month? How much would that change things for you? Passively, by the way. You can have a little team that uploads content for you, so you can create the content yourself, or you can hire somebody to do it, right? Are you time rich or and cash poor, right? Which is some people have no time. Some people are time poor, cash rich. So if you have more time on your hands, then you should be doing the work yourself. If you have no time on your hands, you have money, then hire. If you're time poor and cash poor, well, you're going to have to carve out a little bit of time of your day to create content. And it will be a slow grind, but you'll get there. That's the point. And belief will help you, because the first site you create, you're not going to believe you can do it. And then you'll create a little bit of an income. And then you're going to go, fuck, this is possible. I can do this. Once we start letting go, its days are numbered and its power will diminish. One of its tricks is to go unconscious about the technique itself. For instance, to decide suddenly that the mechanism of surrender isn't working. Things are still the same. It's confusing, too hard to remember to do. Right. I see this with students all the time. I'm doing all these things, Kyle, and it's just not working. It's not working. And it's because, again, they're resisting the resistance. Sometimes it takes time, and then this is usually how it goes. It hurts a lot in the beginning, right? And then you'll have one good day where you're not bothered, or you'll have one good afternoon, right? Where you're not bothered by the whole thing. And then you'll have a good day, and then it's back to shit. And then you'll have 3 good days, and it's back to shit. Or you'll have one good day, one bad day, one good day, one bad day, one good day. Whatever the pattern is. And then what you'll notice is the good days start to outnumber the bad days. What I get a lot of from a coach's perspective, right? This is my perspective to you guys, is when you have a good day, everything's fine. When you have a bad day, no, it doesn't work. This sucks. This doesn't work. Letting go doesn't work. But the good days you're letting go just fine. So the ego will fight and claw to, remain important, to keep you in the familiar, right? To keep you where you are, but you have to move to the next stage, letting go, let go of the need, the attachment, because it's not important. It is not important anymore. And that's a decision you have to make. I will read more from this book, but this video is 20 minutes long. I don't want to make this too long. So if you want coaching, again, it's down below. We work on some serious letting go techniques, stuff I'm learning, stuff that I'm putting into my coaching now. And dudes and dudettes, it's awesome stuff. When you fucking learn how to let go, you'll learn how to apply that to all areas of your life. So remember, pick up this book, Letting Go, David Hawkins. I've highlighted the shit out of this book. Bam. It keeps going, right? The Anatomy of Emotions. This shit, fuck, man. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Coaching's down below. Done.